If you have a property to sell in the Billings area this year and you don't have a strategy yet on how to get it sold, I don't want you to miss this video. Welcome to Real Estate with Corinne. I'm Corinne Kern, broker with Bighorn Real Estate in Billings, Montana. And in today's video, we are going to talk about listing strategy in a hot seller's market. So what I haven't shared with you guys before is that I actually used to sell real estate in Northern California before making my move to Billings about 4.5 years ago. So a really competitive market is what I was brought up in getting my real estate career started. And so I have really taken all of the things that I have learned in that market in California, and I'm really able to apply them here in Billings now that we're seeing this type of market. So if you're thinking of listing your home this year, what I want to share with you is called my individual strategic plan. And what that means is I put together a strategic plan for every property that I'm getting ready to list. So as much as we like to think that in a hot seller's market, every property is going to sell for top dollar and it's going to sell quickly, it's not always true. There are definitely a lot of factors that we want to take into consideration and make sure that we are as thoughtful and strategic as possible to get the most money for you and make sure that we make that transaction go as smooth as possible. So the first part of getting this strategy plan put together is doing a comparative market analysis. And I do this on every property, regardless of what the market looks like. But this is going to be an analysis that helps us determine what the market value is of the property that we're getting ready to sell. We're going to take a look at active sales, pending sales, and previous sales and come up with that market value. And then from there, we take a look at what's called market conditions. So we're going to take a look at the current inventory. How many active properties that are going to be competition with our listing are on the market and how are they priced? Where does our price line up with theirs? And then we're also going to take a look at the sales history and see, okay, what percentage of list price are these properties selling at? Are they selling under list price or are they selling over? And how do we take that into consideration with when we determine a price and what we can anticipate for offers once the property is on the market? So once we have an idea of the market value and market conditions and how we want to price that property, we also want to make sure that we take into consideration any pre-listing items that need to be done. Now, for some properties, it might not make a difference. I might say, let's sell it as is. Let's not do any touch-up paint. Let's not do any updated flooring. And some we might. It really is going to depend on the property. So that's where this individualized strategic plan comes into play. And once we are ready to hit the market, we have professional photos done, then we talk about timing. So one of the things that we are starting to see a little bit more frequently here in the Billings market, and it is definitely a strategy that I have used in the past and like to be thoughtful of when getting ready to list a property, is what's called delayed presentation of offers. And so what I will do with my sellers is I'll take a look at our property, I'll take a look at the potential buyer demand, and many of the other factors that might come into play, and decide if we should put the property on the market and delay any presentation of offers a certain amount of time after that. Now that could be a 24-hour period of time, 48 hours. Really, that's going to be very property specific. But that is a way to ensure that every interested buyer has the time to get into the property and take a look at it, especially when our properties are moving and going under contract as quick as they are right now. So once we get to the step that we've put the property on the market and we have offers in and we've decided on accepting an offer, then I like to talk to my clients about having backup offers in place. Now, some properties I might encourage my sellers to have backup offers. Others I might say, let's just keep in touch with those other buyers, and if anything falls out, then we can reach out and see if any of these buyers are still in the market and looking to purchase. So again, that is also going to be very property specific, but I know a lot of sellers in this market feel really confident that sales are going to move through. And while that is typically true, I treat every listing like a baby. Like, we are going to take care of that baby until the very end, and we are going to make sure that transaction successfully closes. So even though we have a buyer under contract, I am still going to ensure that we are actively marketing the property. And I do typically encourage my sellers, unless there are any health concerns with COVID, to continue to allow showings even after we have a buyer under contract. My opinion is that the more activity on a property, the more buyers that are able to get into it, the better chance that we have of selling that property for the highest amount of money and as smoothly and quickly as possible. So if you're thinking of selling this year, please reach out. I would love to share with you my strategy for your individual property and how we can work together to try and get that sold to meet your goals. So I've left all of my contact information in the description box. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. If you're new to my channel, be sure to check out my other videos. I've got great information on how to sell and buy at the same time and other information on the Billings market in general. So we'll see you next Tuesday.